And here we go. So now we have pictures of Morgan with her time at the rehab hospital. There's so many pictures and videos, which I'll upload to our shorts area.
Yeah.
Different videos of her walking. But this was her initially sitting on the therapy table. Someone had to sit behind her with a ball and hold her head, support her, to keep her from tipping over. This was her laying in bed. Somehow her tube feed got increased and it kind of ballooned her up, which made it hard, to control that. She got really kind of chubby there. This was her relaxing in her room after therapy. We had kind of a cozy little room there. This was the view out her window of her room. We had a nice view. Nice big windows in her room. Very uncomfortable recliner though. Here we were outside. We tried everything to keep her head held in place. Weren't always successful. We'd go for lots of walks around the facility just to enjoy the sunshine and stuff. So there's Dad giving her a ride with her turtle.
Mm-hmm.
We're running a marathon at a turtle's pace. There we're starting to see a little more glint in her eyes.
She's in there.
She's in there. Nap time. And hand splints now. Instead of serial casting, they finally evolved to hand splints.
Mm.
So the little round circle thing on her chest was what the nurses gave her at night. And she would tap it over and over to get them to come in. The little girl who cried wolf. Here we are in the chapel, and she was always fixated on the crucifix on the wall. No matter where her head was, she would find it. They had a facility bunny, and we would go down there, and the bunny would sit on her chest. Another day of walking. Many walks. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
When you're stuck in a facility. Here we are sitting close to the waterfall, just hanging out. Morgan's looking at her schedule, not real happy, is she? Every now and then we get some really good facial expressions. This was outside, in part of the garden there, and it was the outside of the chapel of the facility, and it was just such a neat area back there. And they had these beautiful gardens with these statues. So you can see how tranquil that could be.
Yeah.
You're in
raspberry seclusion.
Yes. She was always fixated on this red light in the little prayer room. There was a big statue of Mary in there, and she just always fixated on that light. Here we go, more time in therapy again. They're sitting on the ball behind her, trying to help her. Here we are again outside. You can see other people out there, but yeah, this was our hangout place. Pretty quiet and peaceful there. This was one of the days when her eyes were moving from one side to the other. There was some worry about her eyes and the movement, getting them to the right side. So there we were able to show that her eyes did go to the right.
Right.
This part was sad to me because the expressions were few and far between. Maybe a little smirk or a small smile. You know, we just kept praying that all her personality would come back and we'd get more expressions. But, this was kind of that low brain function period of time where things were going on, but they weren't fully connecting yet. We put headphones on her with different music therapy. She looks less than happy with our choice in music on that one. Here, the hand curling again. It's that was an ongoing battle with her. She looked flush an awful lot, but it was part of that storming in her brain, the healing going on, body trying to figure it out.
Looks bright-eyed there.
This was the other view of sitting in that little prayer room with the red candle. That's how she would look at the red candle, fixated on it. They had a lot of different therapy dogs in the facility that would come in, and they'd just lay there with her, and they'd come and visit. Here was when we finally started getting a little bit of expression, and little Miss Pouty Lip started. And she was looking at her dad, pouting at him. Once again, looking at that red light in the little prayer room. It's crazy what that was doing to her.
She's even got arched eyebrows there.
Yeah. This was one day we were talking about the accident, and she just looked so sad.